I got this. Welcome to another episode of our Workin Into a Shoot podcast for the month of September. Now, normally, based on the channel name, we get the Mac. It's already going off the rails and we haven't even started yet. Anyway, we have the Mac. Just do the intro, please. So there's normally two of us, but we've actually commandeered a third member that will be joining the conversation today. We're going to bring him over right now. And you are...
see my hand and leg in the shot. That's why I backed up and they started laughing. What's poppin'? I'm Justin.
And he's going to be joining us on this podcast of basically news and all this other good stuff from the month of August and most of September, considering it's September, 22nd now. So most of September. So
your boy turned 23 yesterday. So
yeah,
happy birthday.
Woo, 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 woo. All right. So to start, we're kind of going to do what we did for Connor and I, except we're going to do it kind of in a shorter version. We're going to have Justin give his favorite wrestler.
I get the abridged because they like to not put me over.
This man yelled at me in a parking lot at work because it had nothing to do with our podcast originally.
Right? Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, me and Matt started a wrestling podcast. I was like, without me? Okay, thanks, guys.
Well, he's going to okay. There's going to be a lot of off the rails stuff. Just FYI, there's going to be a lot of off the rails. So we're going to go with favorite wrestler of all time,
Triple H.
Favorite match of all time.
Oh, okay. Well, the first sound like I interrupted you. So.
No, you're good.
Okay. Triple H, Cactus Jack, Hell in a Cell, and No Mercy.
And favorite promotion or time period in wrestling.
Probably. I don't know. I like the current is just needs some work, I think, but probably the 90s. Like pretty much the Raw's War era.
Oh, okay, all right. So pretty much the Attitude Era then.
Yeah.
Most of it, at least. Yeah, I think that's. How did you get into wrestling? That was a big one that we did first.
My friend brought over SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, greatest wrestling game of all time.
All right, well, we're gonna have a debate over
zero
there.
There's
gonna be
because you and I are on the same page.
There's gonna be a little bit of a debate here with them. That's another video.
There is
Save
no
that for
debate.
another
They're wrong.
video.
Whatever game they say No Mercy.
You're outnumbered now.
Well, actually, not No Mercy.
But yeah, like my friend brought that over, and that kind of got me into it.
So you got into it through video games rather than actually having experience with it. All right.
Yeah, and I remember the first match I saw in Raw was a Fatal 4-Way.
Right? Yes.
Kane, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, and Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
it was an elimination match for number one contender for, I think, Intercontinental or something back in 09.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's a good,
it's a good time period to get into it. That's kind of around when I got into it. It was 2009ish, so I kind of get, it was a good era. All right. So where we left off last podcast, we left off pretty much right before NXT UK TakeOver Toronto, and that's exactly where we're going to start.
First ever, two-part podcast.
Stupid internet. Literally, the internet
like
just
Lesnar
completely
shows up twice a year.
I was about to bring up that joke.
So, all right. So highlights. We want to hit the highlights of NXT TakeOver Toronto. All right.
Hurt me, Brock. You have money. I want to sue.
All right. So what happened at NXT TakeOver Toronto? I know the big steel cage match. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. That was kind of like there was a 2 out of 3 falls, right? I'll have to get on the old Google machine. So bear with me for a second if you guys want to talk about something.
We talk about the fact that we joked Matt earlier.
Whatever you want, I don't care. Go ahead.
It's not wrestling related.
I don't care. That's if you wanna take the second while I kind of pull this up. Absolutely. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Again, we're really professional here on the.
Extremely.
All right, what do we got? Breezango, Forgotten Sons, and Jordan Miles, Cameron Grimes, and Street Profits in the Undisputed Era.
Did you go Breezango?
Yeah.
Greatest tag
Well, it
team
was a
ever
pre-show.
stifled.
It was a pre-show match, so it's like not integral to like.
Okay, it's also just made a career of being the pre-show stopper.
You're very right. You're very right. Especially not. Well, Rudolph just won the championship. That's what I call him. I call him Rudolph.
Yeah, because Steven Larson called it.
Yeah.
Like I know that.
Let's see. Io Shirai and Candice LeRae in a match. That was really good. I definitely thought that was really good because that was right after Io Shirai turned heel. So that was very well put together. Did either of you two watch this?
No.
That's probably you didn't watch this?
I just watched
Great. All right. This is solo corner right now. That was really good. Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, of course. Io Shirai picking up the win.
Wait, which one is this?
Spoilers, man.
Didn't I come over and watch this?
I think you watched part of it.
Yeah, and then had to work the next
I remember
day.
like
I
the
actually had a
last or like a takeover Toronto a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was the one with DIY and
With
Revival. Yeah.
And that was also Bob Roode getting
right.
the belt, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hell.
Yeah, Velveteen Dream and Triple Threat versus Pete Dunne and Roger Strong.
I'm not a fan of Velveteen Dream.
Really?
He's annoying.
Really? See, I love Pete Dunne. I think he should.
I also love Pete Dunne. He should have all the belts.
Hold all the belts. Absolutely. Hold all the belts. At one point or another.
In his teeth.
Right.
At the same time.
Am I going crazy or did I hear a doorbell?
No, that's the bells from the chapel.
Oh my god, I forgot you're on a church campus.
Yeah. We're on Siena campus, just for anyone that is.
Where's Devon and Batista?
Deacon Batista.
Deacon.
He's in the new Gears of War game.
He is too.
Now that we're getting off track. And then finally, the main event: Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. 2 out of 3 falls.
Who versus Gargano again?
Adam Cole. Baby.
There you go.
And he won 2-1. He won 2-1, and the steel cage match was weird because it wasn't a traditional steel cage match. It was like a steel cage match. It was almost like the Ambrose Asylum match. Better. Instead of putting instead of
having
putting
a friggin' ficus.
Yeah, literally, it was like they had tables.
The plant, but he should have been
tables, candlesticks, chains, trash cans, chairs, pretty much all that kind of stuff. And Adam Cole picked up the win.
Did they bring the kitchen thing?
No, there was no kitchen sink. I'm waiting for them to actually bring the kitchen sink. But so that was I guess as in depth as I'm going to go with this one, but definitely worth the watch. I think it was. I don't know if it was better than SummerSlam. I felt like SummerSlam had more momentum to it than NXT TakeOver Toronto.
It's hard because like SummerSlam had the Fiend. And
that's going to be a tough.
I turned all the lights off in my basement the second his entrance started.
Oh yeah. So now that all right, so that's actually going into our next topic. Fiend's debut in. I mean, we can talk about that while I'm pulling up SummerSlam, and then we can kind of talk about SummerSlam in whole. But the Fiend's debut, how amazing was that debut?
Extremely.
Absolutely
it's the
amazing.
least PG thing to come in years.
That lantern was insane.
Alone, like just him having his own friggin' head.
Like,
excuse you, dorm dwellers. Trying to be professional over here.
I don't know. I got to deal with roommates. Oh boy. But then again, they also have to deal with
not your roommates.
Dorm dwellers.
They're cool. Just someone out in the hall smashing.
All right. Oh, okay. All right.
Crack.
All right.
Hey,
fair.
Watch it.
Some troll is in the chat right now.
Is it Connor?
Sup, guys? LOL. But yeah, he's sitting literally right over there watching us do this. So, anyway, so the Fiend's debut. What did I know? You kind of went over what you thought, but like, how awesome was that?
The song remix. Like,
I thought it was a remix. I couldn't tell at first, but then
I'm going to throw an unpopular opinion. I still think the best thing they've ever done with Bray Wyatt was the Firefly.
Well, that is the Fiend.
Yeah,
that is the Fiend.
Exactly. You know,
that's not
what is it?
That's not unpopular.
The strong man, the dancing crap,
the muscle man dance, dude.
Dude, man, like, what they did with Bray Wyatt's theme is like it's the exact opposite of Nakamura's, where like they remixed it and it got worse for Shinsuke.
Yeah, I can agree with that. With the whole rapping thing. I mean, I get what they were trying to do.
Shinsuke's not a rap.
No, he's definitely
oriented dude.
I'm trying to think.
What's for Shinsuke? Popularity.
There was a lot of talks after SummerSlam about the head lantern being
a little too much for the
and I feel like it fit perfectly. It fits
the character.
like my whole thought is right. I understand. Like I kind of compared it to The Purge in a sense. I understand The Purge isn't TVPG. It's TV-14, right?
No,
And that
that
would
rated
be.
R.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No. I'm not talking the movie. I'm talking about the television show. They have a television show
There's a
now.
TV show for
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, it's like in the
They're
third
milking
season
that,
now.
aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. But like that to me, like the severed head thing, I don't take it as it being very violent. It was more symbolism than anything else. As far as me, it's like the old Wyatt is dead.
My thing is like you don't gut the character for the sake of keeping it a certain rating.
Right.
You write the character in a way that will make sense. The Fiend being a super dark character that fits his motif perfectly.
Right.
That's
and
like,
I love the way they've handled him as like a special.
That's like if people are like, "Whoa, man, the Undertaker has too many coffins and dead things."
Right. Exactly. It wouldn't make sense. Kind of like when he went motorcycle. Although I do kind of like the ABA.
Okay,
I still like Big E, but like But
still a Big E.
No, Big Evil.
Oh,
Big Evil.
I said Big E too. I was like,
No,
I'm
Big
like,
Evil.
okay,
Big
we're
Evil.
talking New Day now. All right, sorry, Bray.
Off tracking. but yeah, it's like if you change the character to something that doesn't make sense, it just for the sake of it, for the sake of I don't know, throwing it out there, Snickers. You know, it's not really gonna because Snickers is like one of their big sponsors.
I'm saying, like, are you saying a
APG.
sponsor or to be?
No. That's their sponsor. Kind of throw it out there to change the Fiend character into something that Snickers feels is, acceptable.
Yeah,
It's
at
gonna,
this
like
point,
ruin it.
WWE is a big enough machine.
Right.
Like sponsors should kind of.
With that controversial Saudi money coming in.
Oh man.
we don't need to go down that hole.
That's another rabbit hole, but
We don't
Not
need
that
that
rabbit hole, but change the fabulous moolah royal because that's
Right.
not good money.
Right, yeah. So, all right, well, let's hit the highlights of SummerSlam. We got Drew Gulak and Oney Lorcan for the Cruiserweight Championship. I've absolutely loved Drew Gulak.
Drew Gulak's great.
I don't think they deserve to be on the pre-show every single pre-show. I think they should be on the main show. They're just as good.
That's the thing is like 205 Live feels like a little kid.
Yeah,
The table
yeah,
in
literally.
WWE.
It was never it got stigmatized. As soon as it started, it was Raw Light, and then people can't see past that. But it's so much more than that. Ever
And
since
that's the
Neville
thing.
took over,
Dude, even
it's
before
been
that,
great.
when they had Austin Aries,
Yeah,
like that was the reason he left because he's like, I want to face anybody. Like
here it is.
Like imagine the matches he could have had with bigger guys.
Mm.
Austin Aries is phenomenal talent.
I mean, yeah. Look at what he did in Impact until that whole controversial leaving. Look at what Pac's doing over in AEW. Look at what Buddy Murphy's doing
Wait,
now.
we say Pac?
Yeah,
Pac.
no, Pac is Neville. That's like his name on the independent scene is Pac. Yeah, but just look at the stuff he's doing in AEW now. It's like he's wrestling people that wouldn't be considered 205 Live guys, and he's crushing it.
Yeah.
It can work. Look at Tyler Bate and Walter, which we'll get to in a little bit from NXT UK.
Or even NXT UK, the inaugural championship match.
Oh my God.
Tyler Bate.
Oh my God.
I don't know if Meltzer gave it 5 stars, but he should.
Yeah, literally.
It's not New Japan, but there are other companies.
Right.
I'm not talking. I'm not throwing shade to Meltzer. Stop.
Okay.
No, I'm
see.
saying because I don't think it's any WWE stuff 5 stars.
You think he's biased?
That's all that's
I'm throwing shade, but
Like-
he's biased.
A tad.
a tad. Everyone's a little biased.
It's
come on.
like every Kenny Omega match gets 5 stars, and then it's like it took Gargano Ciampa to get a 5-star.
Can you imagine? So do you think if he was in the
Although Gargano and Almas did get a 5-star as well at Philly.
say if it was Matt Cooper versus Kenny Omega, and Matt just got slapped across the face and got pinned, that would be an 8-star match.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it would.
It depends on how well the slap was worked. Depends on how well I can work a slap. No, we already
I'm
gave
not
a
gonna
demonstration of this in our introduction.
Sell it and give yourself a concussion like Ziggler.
Oh, I gotta remember that. So going
Which time?
through,
He's done it a bajillion
yeah, literally,
and wonders why he's not ever on the main card.
right.
It's like there's selling and then there's hurting yourself.
Right. So continuing on with SummerSlam, that's kind of all that was really notable. I mean, there was a title change for I think it was a title change for the women's tag team championship. You had Becky Lynch. Yeah, I think they beat the Iconics, right? Was that what it was, or was that on a Raw?
I forget when did
I'm pretty sure
Nikki
once
did it. Was it SummerSlam?
I think it
It must have been. Because I remember, like, wasn't she wearing the Buzz Lightyear attire? Right? Yeah, that's what one.
Oh, I will never forget. Don't you worry. If it comes to Alexa Bliss,
Buzz Lightyear? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Becky Lynch.
Yeah, where did my girl spend? Is one of them hurt?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I really enjoyed
I haven't been up to date since I got blocked on Twitter by Peyton Royce.
Yeah, by Peyton Royce.
Okay, story time.
Were you being weird?
Story time.
Were you being
story time? Have you done this story before? Like, is this a new story?
Oh my god.
Story time.
Oh my god.
We're gonna deviate again.
What did you do to her?
So she. Oh my god. You want me to tell anyway?
Okay, I'll give you the backstory for it, and you can hit the punchline. So basically, what happened was there was a meme about her one day. It was like, what, 2 years ago or something? And she was like, I will not be created as a meme, and it was like that picture of her like you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you've probably seen it. You're the meme master. You don't know this.
I haven't seen this.
But it was like a picture of her like really shocked or something.
Like a derpy looking.
Yeah. So she's like, I will not be turned into a meme. Stop with my memes. And he tweets the guy that's like reading something, and he's like, and it
says we can be turned into a meme, but it's okay because people like memes.
And then insta-blocked. Insta-blocked. Like, it was almost instantaneous.
Now you need to make a meme of that, like, that look on her face, be like, me when Peyton Royce blocks me on Twitter.
Right. It's almost like that one. It's almost like that one Twitter thing you sent to Vince Russo. Not to bring him up, but like
what
that
did
meme.
I tweet
You're
it,
like,
man?
hey pal, just growing from Stupid Town. Because he's like, I've made pro wrestling or whatever, and you're just like, hey pal,
I helped revolutionize pro wrestling or something like that. I'd be like, hey man.
Yeah. But
you guys buying the conspiracy that Vince Russo was hired by Vince to kind of kill WCW with bad writing?
We can do that in another video. We can do wrestling. We can do a wrestling conspiracy video if you really want.
We're getting several on one.
I don't know how deep we're gonna get with that one, and I'm excited.
So continuing on with SummerSlam, you got Becky Lynch beating Natalya for the Raw Women's Championship. That was an alright match. You didn't
have to watch it to know that that's how it was going to go.
Right. Goldberg defeating Dolph Ziggler.
I love that.
Best taking of the spear I've ever seen.
I love watching Dolph Ziggler just get rocked.
Right. AJ Styles with the OC defeating Ricochet for the U.S. Championship. Very, very good match. Bayley defeated Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's, or to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Boo.
That did not live up to the hype. I expected so much more.
There wasn't much hype going into it.
But just hearing the names and knowing NXT, Bayley and Ember Moon should have crushed it.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things. It's kind of like the AJ Styles Nakamura match. It was too big in some people's mind to ever live up to the hype. I mean,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens defeated Shane McMahon. Let's not talk about how Kevin Owens has literally had like everything cool about him completely cut off in the past.
Let's talk about how like since Hell in a Cell last year, Shane and Kevin Owens have pretty much been in every program together.
Right. And Shane McMahon kills it.
Does he though?
He himself though.
What? Are you making reference? I thought you were making reference to that helicopter crash that he was almost in.
Oh no!
There was a helicopter crash.
He was in a helicopter crash a little while ago.
Well, I know where I'll never do a good job.
So Charlotte Flair defeated Trish Stratus.
Vince will never fire me now.
You're making fun of my boy.
Right.
He's never cared about
Charlotte Flair defeated Trish Stratus by submission.
That was a great match.
That was a really
Trish still got it.
My list. I got a list going on because try saying Trish Stratus by submission like 8 times in a row.
Trish Stratus by submission. Trish Stratus.
All right, you can stop. We get your point.
No, gotta say 8.
Say it 8 times.
Got it 8 times. 8 times. Now can you dig that?
Sucker! Anyway, Kofi Kingston defeated Randy Orton in a double countout.
Nah, man.
Well, not really defeated, but they drew a double countout.
Yeah. I don't like this.
I fell asleep.
This Randy Orton feud is just bad.
I get the whole story behind it, and I get why they want to make it work, but it's just not working. They don't have the chemistry.
You know, it doesn't work.
It's Clash of Styles.
Styles Clash.
Yeah. It's like
that was a phenomenal pun. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but it's like Orton's the slow, methodical pace. Kofi's high.
Look. Listen. I know I'm getting pushed out of the podcast and getting replaced.
No, you're not getting replaced.
I almost swore during this entire day.
Demonetized.
Let me finish. You know what?
All right, will you say your piece,
I
please?
forgot.
Oh God! All right, we're gonna move on while he jogs his memory.
Work? Yeah, you know what else doesn't work?
Brock Lesnar.
All right, so then we
man,
had the
WrestleMania
Fiend.
20.
We had the Fiend, by the way. That
Yeah, we
was the
did.
next one. We already kind of discussed on that, and then Seth Rollins defeating Brock Lesnar. Kind of saw it coming. To be entirely honest.
Man, I never thought I'd root for Brock Lesnar, but this
Dude, all
Seth
his
Rollins
Twitter
has
stuff,
me doing it.
all of his Twitter stuff was ridiculous. Like when he's like, Will Ospreay was like, name a better wrestler than me, and then Rollins is like, me, and then Will Ospreay he mentioned something about like, yeah, well, obviously in your company you're the best, and we can agree to disagree, and then he's like, well, let's compare bank accounts. Like Seth Rollins was like, let's compare bank accounts, and I'm like, what a bad place to take that. Like you could have just been like, we agree to disagree and moved on. But
Or come up with a
he made
better
himself the heel.
response with that. Yeah, it's just the face Seth Rollins character is boring.
Very true. But then again, when he was heel, his catchphrase was like,
when he was heel, he tore his ACL. Yes. What a great way to go out.
Yeah, no.
Hey, let's not forget that great meme we got from heel Seth Rollins. Like like, you know what I'm talking about, right? The meme there, like when he won the when Dean Ambrose pinned him for the WWE Championship, and then it got reversed because Dean Ambrose hit the referee or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, ah,
typical heel stuff. Yeah.
Or the fact that John Cena was going to make Seth Rollins his, and it never worked out.
The only time fake Seth Rollins was
I'll get that
entertaining is when he went over Adderall Roman at Money in the Bank.
Oh, here's another. I don't know why that triggered that in my head, but we need to discuss in a little while the whodunit storyline.
Oh.
The whodunit storyline.
They did that so messy.
So let's see. Next topic would be Sasha Banks' return on the Monday right after SummerSlam.
Didn't we just talk about this before?
We did before, but
and I'm gonna say exactly what I said. I'm gonna pout for 6 months, dye my hair blue, and get a title shot because that's how that works.
Remember, it's because first of all, her cousin is Snoop Dogg, so you better watch.
You better watch.
Yeah, because you're a Sasha Mark.
I'm a four horsewoman Mark, completely. So I liked it. I mean,
who's the best?
Who's the best
outside of Bailey?
Charlotte.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one correct answer.
I don't mean wrestling wise. I mean your favorite. Because
out of the four of them,
Charlotte. It's not.
I don't mean wrestling wise. I mean like your favorite.
My favorite.
Yeah, because
I don't know because I normally get behind what everyone's doing well most of the time. So it's like I really like Charlotte. I love Charlotte. I love Becky. I love what she's done. I see. The thing with Sasha is I get the whole point that you're trying to make with the whole I left for 6 months and then get a title shot.
Yeah, it's like you're laying down in the hotel hallway, like
right.
Gonna finish that word. I got really worried.
So okay,
hotel.
So all right. So, but here's my take on it. I enjoyed her coming back and like the heel turn and like the blue hair and like it's kind of like
I think the heel turn was good.
It's like a metamorphosis almost. But I think where we can agree is she got a title shot way too fast.
Yeah, it's like
way too fast.
Everything with the dirt sheets and all that of how she acted about losing the tag titles. It's like, yeah, it's good that you're passionate about the new tag titles, but you lose sometimes. That's a part of the company.
Yeah, right.
Unless you're, I don't know. I'm going to say unless you're Brock Lesnar, but he's lost.
Yeah, I say he's lost his last few matches.
He won one in 2019.
I don't think so.
Has he had a match?
He didn't wrestle at
Mania, and
he lost.
He lost it. Maybe
he won Money in the Bank.
That does not really count. No,
I'm talking like bell to bell
singles match. Like
bell to bell match.
I don't believe he has this year.
Well, you got two new subs just now. I don't know who that is. Anyway, I don't know who that. Oh, okay, I know who that is. Is that your friend Matt?
No, that's my fiance's roommate. Because that's also Sarah says hi, Connor.
Oh yeah. Dude, okay, but for anyone that's keeping track, I have my roommate here. His friend's Matt, and that's where my head went. What's up, guys? Yeah, he's just been hanging out. Well, we've been kind of talking about the memes. So
gold stars, Connor.
So we should. I definitely think. Yeah, I definitely think she got the title too fast. Maybe like a slower burn.
Well, the title shot.
Yeah.
I mean, like slow chemical.
Hey, that was
It's
Kane.
a Kane reference.
That was
that
Kane.
went way over my head.
That was so good. But yeah, man,
So now we have to
it takes a little more than beating up Natalia
to get it to
like get the fans behind it. It's
Right.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I get
speeding up Natalia. Oh no, they did it on the anniversary of Jim's death for Heat.
that's
cheap.
I don't even want to get like into that. That's a
You don't want to go down that far? I'm down. Let's go.
Man,
Let's go.
No, that was like
up.
the Rey Mysterio thing after Eddie died.
Yeah, literally. Like
I'm
using
sure
death as a
Eddie
storyline.
wouldn't have cared because Eddie probably would have been about it. But
it's more in vain
it's the
of
principle.
It's more in vain of them using Roman Reigns' cancer to push. Who was it? Was it Rollins that they pushed?
It was
because of
Seth,
that?
yeah.
Like, that just doesn't make
Seth
sense.
cried on TV, and then they're like, "Oh,
He was on, and then
He's such a good
That just doesn't.
yeah."
I
And
mean,
then
I
Ambrose
understand. I understand if you like okayed it, but like, even so, that's very cheap. That's a very cheap way to get heat. So,
Not cheap. Brock Lesnar's contract.
All right.
are you just gonna keep? Is this what we had you on the podcast for Brock Lesnar? Like,
It's just
jokes?
I'm
okay with that.
How little he
I
does.
apologize. I do like Brock. Don't hurt me.
So I guess the next thing that we can kind of jump to is the G1. The G1 we kind of mentioned last podcast, but we haven't.
You're out.
Yeah, no.
You're out.
All right, so
I don't have
I'm taking-
whatever
am I taking
streaming
this
service
one?
that is.
See,
They should put it on Crunchyroll. They should get a deal with them. Like
They might.
It's Japanese.
they have an anime based around New Japan.
Do they really?
Yeah, like that's the thing. I've seen like
It's never as
I've
going to be
seen
as good
trailers.
as Southpaw, though. I don't care.
I don't know,
Southpaw
man.
Regional
Does Kenny
Wrestling?
Omega do Kamehamehas and
I have no idea.
Shadow
I'd be
Clone
down.
and stuff?
But
that shit though.
so I'll kind of take the reins with this one.
attitudes. Tex Ferguson and Chat too bad.
Kota Ibushi is Super Saiyan. Like, I love that. Dave Meltzer's favorite anime.
So 8 out of 5 stars.
8 stars out of 3.
8 stars out of 3. So anyways, I'll take the reins on the G1 conversation, I guess then.
Roman wasn't there. Why are you gonna take the reins?
Oh my god. All right, what have I gotten myself into? So anyway, the final.
Invited me.
This was more your idea than it was.
I know it was. But all right, so we got Kota Ibushi versus Jay White. We're already a half hour in. We're a half hour in, and we've only hit 5 out of the.
What time is it? Oh, we gotta get moving.
Yeah. So
We gotta get moving.
So in the finals of the G1, you have Jay White versus Kota Ibushi in the finals, with Kota Ibushi becoming the winner. He's going on to face whoever the champion is in January.
It's not.
It's Okada, but it could change.
Oh yeah.
It could change. Card subject to change.
Omega's not there.
Oh, we got a
Okada
like.
isn't taking
Who
it.
liked this? If you liked it, please comment.
Okada versus.
Like and subscribe, please.
But and then the other big talking point. The other big talking point coming out of the G1 Climax final is, have you guys ever heard of Katsuyori Shibata? I probably butchered that name.
Yes.
He's the one that had, in 2016, he was the one that did that big headbutt, and he basically had to retire from wrestling because he like caved in front of his skull in.
Ryan himself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So he was out. He was told he was never going to wrestle again. And when Kenta, the former Hideo Itami, come out, almost having a match, he come out, Katsuyori Shibata come out, and he did a drop kick in the corner, and he started taking bumps again, which was like huge. Like the place went nuts. So I figured that probably is something we should talk about. Is it like
So the nature of that injury, plus going up against with Kenta, like a GTS.
Yeah, right.
If he messes that up a little
Why?
bit.
Why?
Wait, what you got in there?
He's got a five ingredient college cookbook.
College cookbook.
What is this podcast turned
Packet ramen. And you're good.
So anyway,
8 stars from Meltzer because ramen is Japanese.
I'm gonna Daniel Bryan myself at one point or another. So I guess the real conversation point off of the whole Shibata thing is it okay for someone to come back from a career-ending injury? Like, what makes it okay? I would say
if you're cleared.
Yeah, but by like, where is that cleared mark? Like, where would you say that you should be absolutely?
Doctors say it's fine. They know.
Right.
I know if you want to get technical, I am technically an expert.
Right.
I mean,
well, kind of. You're an EMT, right?
I mean from.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
hit,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
He took that F5 like Vince and hit Saul.
No, he took that slide into the ring like Vince and blew out his quads.
I remember that time Vince Kevin Nash.
And then he started yelling while he's sitting there. But, so, like, my whole view on this, and a lot of people sparked this debate was, a lot of people were saying that he didn't get cleared by doctors, which was weird. It was kind of like
I'm sorry.
Katsuyori Shibata over in New Japan. And he was kind of like, he's basically over there. He was slated to be Okada before his injury, and then Okada took off. And there was speculation going around that, like, doctors didn't clear him. He basically cleared himself. Is that okay? I would say no.
No.
I understand. It's kind of like, it brings up the Daniel Bryan argument.
Yeah,
I understand.
professionally, no.
Yeah.
But I'd say, like, I don't know. Like, if he's willing to put himself on the line like that, then there should be, like, a document signed where it's like
a non,
what's it called? The company's like, we don't clear you, but it's your right to compete.
Right.
But we need you to sign this saying that
if you die, it ain't our fault.
Yeah, like if anything happens related to that, that's not on us.
We missed something from SummerSlam.
What did we miss?
Gave a spear.
Edge? Oh yeah, that's right.
Edge spear.
I was waiting to bring up Edge because on the career-ending injury mark, there's talk of him might being able to come back.
Right. It's like, where is that? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to see him get hurt. I mean, that's
Edge is doing stem cells.
What? Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
stem cells for his neck.
Hold on, I didn't know about this. What?
Edge,
what?
You saw might be able to make a return.
Yes, I saw the spear. Yes, and I went.
Yeah, he might be coming back, not as like a full-time thing or anything. It'd be like an appearance. I'd love to too, but I think
Universal title match, Edge versus Rollins.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but then he'll get curb stomp, and then he'll neck snap again, and we'll lose Edge again.
Supposedly with stem cells, it's actually fixing the problem. Like, eliminating the problem. So he may not. He may have a brand new neck if it
he's been on how long? Like 8 years?
27 was his last one. So yeah,
8 years. Wow,
that's just Alberto Del Rio, you trash bag.
At least he won it.
At least he won.
And what's Alberto Del Rio doing now? I don't know, because I don't care.
He's in the Mexican independent scene, and he's been arrested a few times for racial slurs and fighting at bars.
And he beat Paige.
He did.
That's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
I'm saying that's another reason he's a piece of garbage.
It got blown way out of proportion. So,
boy.
So I guess to kind of speed things up a little bit, we have King of the Ring. King of the Ring. Baron, all hail Baron Corbin.
Never.
The greatest general manager / king ever.
He's gonna go.
I'm saying that completely
He needs to eat a Triple H pedigree.
He's gonna go as far with this as he did with his Money in the Bank.
Who should have
John
won?
Cena's gonna come and kill him.
Who should have won out of everybody in the field? Who should have won?
In the field, I like Samoa Joe because they're not really doing much with him.
That would have been
good. He should be a main event level. And
absolutely.
But I think if he won it there, like if the Fiend hadn't come back and Seth still went over against Braun, like Samoa Joe winning King of the Ring would have been that thing to catapult him back into the title scene.
Right.
I think. But given like the way the chips landed before the final match, Chad Gable, 110%. Kids riding momentum. Looks
Finally.
like $1 million.
But now they're going with Shorty Gable. It's like his new chick is he's short. It's like how
yeah. And you know what?
Times you
know what? You got a haircut. I don't like it. Grow your hair back, Chad. It looks good. Now you just look like mom dropped you off at soccer practice with your nice little hair for picture day. Like grow it back. You had a little. It gives you like that slight bit of edge.
When you said that, I was thinking of our friend Chad from high school who cut his hair. I was not thinking. I know what you're talking about.
So who would you have picked?
Yeah.
No, dude. Like, what about? It just looks like Wade.
I know, and I hate it.
What about Kevin Owens?
What about
you
Kevin
wouldn't
Owens?
want Kevin Owens to win the King of the Ring? He was in the King of the Ring. He got eliminated, but because of Shane's BS.
Exactly. That to me is kind of where that kind of should have probably ended up because it's like adding King of the Ring to it would have just made that story even clunkier than it has
been. Very true.
But now,
especially with Shane being like, "Oh, hey, Shane,
I swear, Vince tells him to milk it because of CM Punk.
Oh, probably.
100%.
That's probably factual.
That's completely bad. That's why they freaking gave it the title. Oh, whoever wins this will be the best in the world. And nah, man. Plus, now Kevin Owens is free of the Shane McMahon storyline to go to NXT and make it the Kevin Owens show.
Oh, yeah. See, me personally, I would have liked Buddy Murphy. I just think
dark match that, Kenny. All right.
Buddy Murphy would have been my.
Buddy Murphy. They need to do something with him.
So much better than what Vince.
Dude, I'd love a program with him and Shinsuke.
That'd be great. I think that'd be really good. I'd also like to see Buddy Murphy.
Also, is anyone else completely shocked for? I know skipping Clash of Champions real quick, but while we're on the subject of Shinsuke, that Shinsuke retained
against The Miz?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking they'd give it to The Miz just to tie Jericho's record.
Exactly.
I'd be okay with that though, because I love The Miz, but
I love Miz too, but it's
I want him to win it because they want him to win it.
Jericho.
Right.
And be like, oh, now Jericho's record is tied.
Right, exactly.
Also, I don't want Miz to get the IC title. I want him with the big belt.
Me too.
I'd love to see him with another run.
Dude,
his heel run was good. But now, A-lister Miz.
A-lister heel Miz versus face Kofi Kingston. I feel like that would work out really well.
Absolutely.
Are we going to just throw it back
hey,
wherever
if it works,
we're going to keep doing it up, or we're going to bring in Randy Orton, throw it back, we're going to bring in The Miz, throw it back
that works with Kofi Kingston because he had those history. He has that history, so it makes sense to bring it back to all that because he never got the shot because of these people.
It's weird.
So it makes complete sense.
Although 2009 was his best year before this year.
Kofi Kingston?
Yeah. Well, 2018.
Right.
Oh, no, it was 2019. It was February.
It was
Yeah.
WrestleMania when he won it.
All right. So the next, I guess,
I
is that cover King of the Ring?
Kingston now is more than this.
The cover King of the Ring? You think that's well covered?
Baron Corbin's boring. That's all you need to know. Gable should have won it.
Pretty much, yeah. Or anyone else besides him.
Yeah.
Or besides Corbin, excuse me.
Honestly, initially going into the tournament, Drew McIntyre.
That would have been great.
King Drew.
I've always liked Drew McIntyre.
Also, Baron went against the math of the King of the Ring, touching the throne, touching all the stuff, and he still won.
And
that's the telltale sign. You're going to lose because you're already hooked on the idea that you're going to be king.
But can it be the telltale sign? Because Telltale Games is now officially closed.
Oh my god!
So it's been changed. Getting into an entirely different.
Why he gets pushed? It's
because Vince thinks women think he's sexy.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Ladies, what is wrong with you?
I mean, he's got tattoos. He's tall.
He's bald, man. Dude, that bald head, man. That nice scalp. You kidding me, man?
Like to moisturize that.
So I guess our next topic of conversation that they just debuted on on USA would be NXT. And a lot of people were worried about NXT when it's first announced that it's going to the USA Network. Vince is going to take over.
Do
you think that's ever going to happen?
I think Triple H will literally clobber him with a sledgehammer before he lets him near his baby.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Agree. Now, a lot of people were saying that I'm okay with some Vince control as long as it's on the side of booking the venues, on the side of making sure TV works out.
Okay, so you said the venues. I'm I don't want Vince near booking, but that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but Triple H can run the actual show.
I think that's what Vince should be at this point.
Right.
Is he should be the marketer, the facilitator. It's here, it's this date, and then take all that stress off of Triple H and Eric,
and then just let them do their thing. Right.
Also, Bischoff, do your homework and get working on SmackDown because Vince is right now, and SmackDown has been boring.
You think everything's boring? What do you think is not boring?
The Fiend,
Samoa Joe, The Fiend.
Anything with the Miz most of the time.
Yeah, say Miz. Adam
What about
Cole.
Ricochet?
What about Ricochet?
Don't even go. We don't. Okay, we have 26 subscribers. We don't want 27 of them to leave. Yes, that is Scott Steiner math. Anyway.
Yeah, there's 33 and a third chance Ricochet bores me. But at his 75%, and there's 118.9% chance that Ricochet bores me.
So then that was like, I forget when they officially announced that, but then we go to August 31st, perhaps the biggest day for wrestling outside of WrestleMania weekend. We had Royal Quest from New Japan, we had NXT TakeOver UK Cardiff, and we had AEW All Out, all in the same day. I think Royal Quest and TakeOver ran at the same time. I watched Cardiff and All Out. Did you guys watch any of those three, or did you guys see like recaps or anything like that? So you kind of get the general gist. All right. Well, we'll run down the Cardinal. We'll kind of do a live reaction almost, I guess.
I was gonna say, like, they haven't really been talking about like TakeOver. I feel like as much.
Well, it was a UK one. That's why.
Yeah.
But
even then,
the main event was
the
phenomenal.
UK boys put on a hell of a show.
They do. They really do.
Like,
in my opinion, the best main event of the whole night. But we'll get into that. So Royal Quest
was Pete Dunne in it.
No, it was Tyler Bate versus Walter, and it was insane.
How are you gonna have a UK main event with no?
Because he's moving up to NXT.
Yeah.
He's out of NXT UK now. He's in NXT. That's why. But that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne
for the NXT Championship.
I mean,
that's supposedly where they're headed.
Is it really?
That is supposedly
I was
where
saying
they're
that
headed.
is what I want.
Seriously though, that's actually where they might be headed. So. The only thing that I really saw from Royal Quest, which is that New Japan show, is the main event was Okada versus Minoru Suzuki. That is I've heard
it's hard to not put an Okada match near the top.
I've heard insanely good things about this match because Minoru Suzuki I kind of compare to Walter in the sense that he will chop your face off. He will beat the absolute hell out of you. And from what I've heard, in all intents and purposes, that's exactly what happened. And I've heard
did Okada retain?
Okada retained because the reason the way that they do it. Well, see, the way that they do it normally in New Japan, when you kind of pick up on these things, is Minoru Suzuki, I believe, beat Okada in the G1, and that normally whoever beats Okada in the G1 is normally his challengers until they get to Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
So I think Kenta beat him too. So I should
be so ingrained.
No, Kenta didn't. Kenta
beat Okada. You're gonna count.
We watched that. Okada did beat Kenta, but you see what I'm saying though. It's like whoever beats the champion in the G1 normally gets a title shot before Wrestle Kingdom kind of thing. So of course, no surprise, Okada did retain. It was a 33-minute match, but from what I've heard, it doesn't feel like 33 minutes. But I still rank that as the second of the three main events. Actually, All Out's main event, I think it was actually the worst of the three. I think the best was NXT UK Cardiff.
It's because it's like AEW is the promotion of the three.
Which, that is a controversial. That's a controversial statement.
It's an accurate statement.
I don't know. They've been doing some very good things. They've been doing some good things. They're not at a level yet where they can be really exciting. But once they iron out those first few,
ironing out unprotected chair shots to the head,
right? Which I watched that live and I was like, "What is going on here? I don't want this in my wrestling." It was cool for a spot, but you also got to think about the safety.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a reason why we don't do it anymore.
Protected to the head, I think, is great.
Yeah, being able to actually protect yourself.
But unprotected, come on.
Yeah, Mick Foley versus The Rock at Royal Rumble 1999, where Mick Foley was handcuffed and he just
that was great for Keith.
I don't even think he hit him that hard. You can see him kind of pull up on the chair, but anyway, that's another story.
Mick's family sure didn't see it that way.
No, they did not. They absolutely did not.
Yeah, I can picture Noel. Cat? No cat?
So then we go into UK Cardiff, which was I ended up watching, but 2 matches. I'm still trying to do the notes here. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, 2 matches that need to be highlighted from NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. Out of there was 8 or so, but the 2 that really blew my mind were Cesaro and Ilya Dragunov. You guys ever heard of Ilya Dragunov?
Yes.
He's is he Ukrainian?
I think so, and he is a big.
Him and Cesaro tore the absolute house down. Cesaro picking up the win though, as expected.
Dragunov's another guy that makes Omega's claim of a dark their main events are dark show.
Right.
Stupid.
Right. And the best spot in this whole match was Cesaro he did his swing, and he did it 20 times without stopping. Literally,
Oh,
it was just around and around and around.
how
and
is
around.
someone never thrown up in the ring?
Right. Now he's like,
How have neither?
he's trying to collect himself.
You like
and
that
everything.
game, Matt?
What?
Around and around. I like this game.
Oh, I like this game.
I liked it when he used to do the swing into the sharpshooter.
That was really cool.
I like
when
that.
he was partnered with Tyson Kidd, right? Was that when he used to do it? Yeah.
So I miss that team.
Really underrated team.
Poor Tyson, like
With his
career-
career-ending injury.
yeah, and now we don't get the muscle buster anymore.
No.
Just because Tyson didn't take it right.
Anyway, so and then you have
No.
Like I like Tyson, but
main event of NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. Walter and Tyler Bate. Walter, of course, retaining after a 42-minute absolute classic. I think it got 5.25 stars from Meltzer.
Wow, David Meltzer actually was.
So he
WWE match broke
really
the scale.
high. Right. So very well put together match. Have you?
I feel like
have you
if
seen highlights of it?
No.
Definitely.
Instead of Tyler Bate, if they called him Tyler Omega, do you think it would have been 9 stars?
He doesn't bounce off the Kenny at all. It's strictly just the Omega. So if I was to go into like a regional backyard promotion and call myself the Omega Man, it'd give me like 10 stars.
Yeah, man. It was like if he went off of the Kenny,
Not
then
throwing-
every episode of South Park would be 10 stars.
Can you imagine? Like it's like here's the scene. Like give me your clipboard. Give me your clipboard. So
All right, here's the clipboard.
In your pen. I'm actually
Oh
gonna
my
write it.
God.
So it's like, Dave,
You're gonna write. You're gonna review.
I'm not.
He's doing a skit.
I'm doing a skit.
He's doing a bit.
He's doing a Mike Kanellis bit.
All right.
Okay. Connor's the father.
I hope people just didn't come in and like completely get
Now Sarah's confused. Does not know what we're talking about.
Don't do that. You're gonna give me.
That is a complete backstory time and context. There's a storyline going on.
Just so
with
Connor
Maria
doesn't get-
Kanellis. Maria Kanellis is like she's married to Mike Kanellis and she's pregnant, but apparently Mike isn't the father, so that's the whole meme there. Just to add some context, so we don't confuse someone's fiance over here with hey Sarah, I had something to tell you that I didn't tell you before. Like, no, we don't want to deal with that.
Wait, Mark, stops.
Oh look, somebody just come in. It's probably Sarah. Like I felt a disturbance in the force.
You're the what now?
I felt a disturbance in the
So,
force.
like, if you came in as like the Omega Man, and like,
I am
oh my God, I'm so
staring
scared
down.
right now. And you walk, and they're like, you go in against like some Joe Schmo, big cookie over here. And it's a flop. It's a flop. You get like punched in the snaz. Your nose goes like this way and around your face, and then you get pinned.
You get that
And
Wade
then-
Barrett nose.
and then like they
I
go,
love Wade Barrett.
they go,
by the
hey,
way.
they go, hey,
Stu Bennett.
hey Meltzer, what'd you think of the match? It was like a 0.5. Yeah, the Omega Man did great. What's his name? The Omega Man? 13 stars. Like,
Yeah, man.
it's that
A
simple.
star for every Mega Man game because he's the Omega Man.
Exactly. There you go. So all right,
Omega
so that's
Bushi.
give me my thing back. I'm on memes. For everybody that's memes. That's probably backwards on
Make sure to
camera.
get
I'm amazed.
Give me
All right.
your text.
So from NXT UK
Stick your
takeover.
phone, babe. Am I dead?
I'm asking if she saw what happened.
So then we go to what? Are you checking to make sure that you're not dead?
He might get buried.
Sarah's probably calling up Triple H right now. Get that golden shovel, kid. This is a live call.
Oh, she's shaking her chest. She has no idea.
Woo! All right.
You.
She's like,
Tell her if she watches any of this to watch it in full.
wait. Hold on. I would have made a phone call.
Oh.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
I was watching.
As a
Hello?
We got an on-air call.
Great. Well, I was just making sure you did not hear what happened like 5 minutes ago. I didn't do
He's
anything.
the father.
I didn't do anything. Never mind. I love you.
He's the father. God damn it.
Anyway, so are we gonna be doing? Nice. All right, so we're gonna. All right, so we're all right. All right, we need to get back on topic right now. All right, so I'm gonna go to AEW All Out later on the night, August 31st. Two big things happened that.
What did Dean Moxbros do?
Nothing. Actually, he wasn't at the show because he was originally supposed to schedule to face Pac, Neville, and he came down with like an elbow infection thing where he couldn't compete. Kenny Omega versus Pac was the replacement.
Can I take a shot at a soda company?
What are you taking a what?
What's the soda company that when he came in with the soda and they had to take down the big ad for AEW?
Huh?
John Moxley walked in.
I don't remember.
Did he walk in with a soda brand that's not kosher for the sponsors?
You told me about this. He had a soda in his hand.
Oh! It was during his. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, Moxie, the soda Moxie.
Could you
he
imagine?
was drinking a can of it, and they were like, "Okay, we get the reference, but we're gonna sue you."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Unless you remove it, and they had to, sue him, and he removed it. So
could you imagine being an irrelevant soda company and not the only way you
literally Moxie is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting.
If you ever see this, you're irrelevant. Get a life.
You get free advertising from a really popular guy, and then we're going to sue you.
So
spend what money you have.
We had Pac defeating Kenny Omega in a singles match today.
Meltzer 1 star. Omega didn't go over.
We had a Cracker Barrel, not sponsored, but the actual match was sponsored. A Cracker Barrel hardcore match between Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin, and Joey Janela, where in one spot, Joey Janela, or I think it was Joey Janela, was laid out across the steel steps, and there was barrels, actual Cracker Barrel barrels. He took one and decided to basically trust fall onto the steel steps. Joey Janela moves out of the way, and Darby Allin puts himself basically through a Cracker Barrel. Not sponsored, by the way. That was the most insane thing that happened in that match, and it was actually kind of cool. You were there for that, right? That was really cool.
So good.
Wow. Yeah.
We had please like us. Please give us money, Cracker Barrel.
Literally.
I don't go to Cracker Barrel after they fired Brad's wife.
They did fire Brad's wife.
Wait, Brad's wife? Brad who?
The old Twitter thing. This guy named Brad was like, "You guys fired my wife," and I forget. She totally shouldn't have gotten fired.
Oh, yeah, and we never know. We never found out why.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Brad's wife got fired. He's got kids.
He had Cody defeating Sean.
Brad is Heath Slater.
All right, I'll try that again. Cody defeated Sean Spears.
Okay.
Anybody know who Sean Spears is?
Yes.
Ty Dillinger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he is out of the company.
Right, he was the one that delivered the.
Excuse me, you mean Stan? Let's be real here.
You can leave now. Your time on this podcast has officially come to an end.
My name's on half the channel there, boy.
Well, he's right. So you might want to adjust
Connor, it's
that.
okay. You can join me over here.
We can take the laptop. Matt's out. He's being mean. Don't be a bully. Be a star.
We had the ladder match to end all ladder matches, by the way. For the AAA World Tag Team Championships, the ladder match to end all ladder matches.
Oh, what?
The Lucha Brothers.
Michaels versus Ramon?
Huh?
They just played Shawn Michaels versus Razor?
No, dude. Lucha Brothers, Ray Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix versus the Young Bucks. Matt and Nick Jackson fame. I watched it. I was blown away. I honestly think they did everything that you can do in a ladder match. So I'd like to see them, the next ladder match that comes along that actually has an innovation in it is going to be mind blowing.
Do they spear him off a ladder or spear him?
They did the ladder jump to the tables. I don't think they did one even better. They did a Canadian Destroyer off the top of a ladder through a table.
I don't remember what Canadian
You mean off the
that's like the flip pile driver.
Oh,
that Adam Cole kind of does, but they did it off a ladder through a table.
Speaking of, do a Michinoku driver off a ladder, and that would
do a burning hammer off a ladder through a table.
Whoa. Okay, now you're just asking for questions.
Hey, don't you hold on? I gotta defend. Don't you you diss the freaking Canadian Destroyer?
I'm not dissing
that Heath
it.
Slater used.
No, I'm not dissing the Canadian Destroyer. I just like a good
Kurt Hawkins from the top rope. Okay.
Dude, do we urine out of you off the ladder?
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
Okay.
And then for to bring it back in again, we're kind of,
I just
short on
time
time
sounds
here.
like death, but
It's only
you picked up
50.
a burning hammer off a ladder, and
I mean, I
So-
went off a roof and I'm still here.
We got
I fell further.
we got the main event, the last match of the night. Chris Jericho defeating Adam Page to become your first ever AEW World Champion.
Stupid.
and he
then-
doesn't have a belt to show.
And then 10 minutes later, like an hour later, he's at a Longhorn Steakhouse, and someone steals it right out of the limo.
Wait,
I think it did get returned. It did get returned, right? I think
don't
Florida
know.
police found it on like the side of the road. Some good Samaritan saw it on the side of the road and just decided, instead of selling it, it's a $30,000 belt, by the way, or something like that. He decided, nope, I'll take the $200 reward or something.
$200 reward.
I think so.
AEW shelling out the Dolores for their prize.
Literally for
Title.
the championship.
Man, owning the Jaguars,
And
I
let's
guess,
face it,
does that for you.
the best thing to come out of AEW matches to the side was the meme. Chris Jericho, I just need a little bit of the bubbly.
Chris
Does not know
Jericho
that
is
meme?
the
I know
only
the meme.
New York
I've shown you the
AEW.
meme. You know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah.
The little bit of the bubbly, and then he just
Yeah.
decides to drink it out of the bottle anyways because it's Chris Jericho and he can do whatever he
Dude.
wants.
Jericho's the only thing about AEW where I'm like, I kind of want to watch.
How all this bubbly is making me excited for later. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, boy.
All right, so next thing on our topic list. Next thing on our topic list.
The
is-
list.
The list is
I
Bailey
make my
turning
own list in
heel.
college, and Matt's on it frequently. He's why I made it.
Isn't the record holder Pat?
Yeah, he's
Wait,
on
I
my
was never
completely-
Completely
Who's
unrelated
number on your
concepts,
list?
by the way.
I want to get myself on here. What's the record?
Oh,
I
40.
Oh man, I'm about to roast you. We have an hour trip together after this, and I'm about to ruin your whole career, boy.
I ain't got one. My career's already ruined this week.
I mean, you're working a career.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey Matt, what you writing?
I'm writing another topic. Relax, man.
God,
All right.
sweaty Mark, share it.
Sweaty Mark. No, we'll get there, man.
Yeah, you
The
stupid
next one is
tie-dye
Bailey
shirt.
turning heel on Monday Night Raw, smacking Becky Lynch with a bunch of chair shots, and then going off from there. I really liked it.
I think it's what Bailey needs.
Amen.
I
Being a
just-
long-term Bailey fan,
the only
seeing
thing-
that backbone was glorious.
Only thing I'm like
Okay,
is,
Bobby,
yeah, like
calm
it's
it
more,
down.
it feels more of her having a backbone and being willing to, like, not be the goody two shoes. But
Right.
the timing also feels kind of off because it's like it just kind of feels like she's doing this because Sasha is
Yeah.
acting like this.
I'm gonna tear I have a
Oh,
calf
okay.
muscle, so
So,
Yeah, so be nice.
I honestly don't even think that she did turn heel in the sense of she turned heel because, like,
I don't know, man. Like
She's
the way
kind
she
of
won
a
at Night of
tweener.
Champions.
what?
The way she won at Night of Champions.
Yeah,
That's
but
quite
like,
heelish.
very true.
no one else is here.
That was the turn more than the chair shot. The chair shot I didn't
Yes.
see as the turn.
I don't know, man. I mean, the chair shot, like, smacking Becky cringe. I'm sorry. Since the Rollins thing, her promos have been cringe.
Yep, they don't even
Hey,
want to work
impulsive-
together on screen anymore. Like,
20 minutes later, never. Like, come on.
now we're on to the final event that we have to cover, minus any other news, is Clash of Champions.
Didn't watch
Why
it
was it boring?
because I didn't watch
I
it.
didn't think it was boring.
I thought it was semi-boring.
The
I didn't think it was too bad.
Orton match was big. I liked Rudolph going over, not so much for Dolph. I never have liked him. Bobby Roode.
Yeah,
It should
he
be.
needs something.
It should be in the title.
I love the Revival winning the tag championship.
Yeah, I love the revival.
Me too.
And the story was good for
Seth
that.
Rollins retained. I love the Fiend coming out at the very end.
I
It was very
didn't
cool.
like Rollins retaining because I love Braun Strowman,
But
and face Seth Rollins is not my cup of tea.
the Fiend is fighting.
Alright. More action.
So the Fiend. See, the thing why I didn't want Strowman to win is not because I
Was
like Strowman,
because
it's because
the
the Fiend is fighting whoever won that match.
Yeah.
So I was like, if they give it to Braun and then he just loses to the Fiend, it's not really going to do much for him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but
But yeah, other than that, Luke Harper returned.
What did you think of Seth pulling up the pedigree?
Interesting. Thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I used to hate it when he used to do the pedigree, but it was kind of like okay.
To me, like, because people always talk about the idea of like the super finisher and they don't like it, but it's like the notion of like they have to, as Michael always says, go down into the bag of tricks.
Literally,
to pull out the win. Yeah.
Pull out an old vintage maneuver to get the W. Because he's so cool, guys. To quote, Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic, shout out. Hello.
Oh, when you're like, so cool. I thought you were doing Renee Young.
No. Like, she does do that sometimes.
Cool. Like, Renee, what the hell?
But Luke Harper returned. I wasn't expecting him to return.
I was pleasantly
Luke Harper come back.
Which is jumped Roman in the middle of their match with Rowan.
And it was no disqualification,
no
so
DQs.
Rowan won.
Slammed Roman.
Like, Harper was this guy that, like, I think it was 6 months ago or 7 months ago, he won it out.
Yeah.
And then he's been in limbo ever since.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm back.
Yeah, it's like, I want to get released. And you're like, no. And it's like, well, you're not doing anything with me. And at that point, I understand the plight of like, you're not doing anything with me. Let me go do something else.
Right.
But, we haven't really heard much about it since they said they're not gonna. Which is probably when they're like, we have a plan for you. We just got to wait for the storyline to fall.
Right.
Just kind of,
Have to
work with it now.
I'm going to step off screen for a second.
Okay. Go,
Oh, she saw it. He's in trouble.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble. We got him in trouble.
But before you do say, I do love you.
All right, so I guess we'll move on to then what you wanted to cover. What you really wanted to cover was Omega versus NXT. I have not seen this. That's all you, brother.
So, Kenny Omega, at an interview, was asked, what do you think of NXT being on Wednesday nights on cable?
Right.
And he said, their main event would be our dark match. And he's like, trying to put on your developmental to fight real superstars.
Right.
Type stuff, basically. Kind of trying to push NXT down while simultaneously placing them up on a pedestal.
Right.
Is going to be, like, one, he's just wrong. Like, sure, like, has been viewed as a developmental by some people, but, most fans look at NXT as the third brand.
Very correct.
Like,
Very correct.
for me, it's just WWE, like, okay, it's Ring of Honor. Like, it's the indies for the WWE. And then, like, after, their NXT run, we put them on cable for our less hardcore fan base to get eyes on them and all this and that. But now, it's going to be treated as the third brand. Cesaro is back on NXT.
Supposedly Owens is going back.
Owens is allegedly returning.
Back.
Wait, who?
Breezango.
Oh, Breezango. Yeah, Breezango's there.
I think, Sami Zayn was rumored to go back.
I dig it. Like, Sami Zayn has...
Send everyone back. I don't
He's
care.
been floating around for months and not doing anything.
Although I have loved his pairing with Shinsuke. He's delightfully weird, Sami Zayn. Like, his character, he comes out and he's, like, all dancing around and everything. I enjoy that. It's funny. I mean...
To me, it's just kind of like, what the fuck are they doing?
Oh, all right. Demonetized. Anyway.
It's like, no, it takes more than one to get it. But
well, that's our one. That's our one per list.
All right. There you go.
That's our one per list.
Just what are you doing with him?
Yeah,
but,
really.
NXT now, it's like, now that it's on TV, it's not going to be developmental. It's the third brand now.
It literally can't be.
But even if it is still viewed as a developmental, not only by AEW, but by WWE, by the fans, if their ratings are within a ballpark of each other, being AEW and
developmental
NXT,
AEW,
say, the real superstars and your developmental, our ratings are within like a hair of each other. What does that say about your stars?
Right.
Versus their developmental.
Right.
What does that say about WWE stars?
And just taking the example of TakeOver. TakeOver crushes most of the time the main roster pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Easily.
TakeOver numbers have been just punching the main roster pay-per-view numbers for years. because they've been putting on the better matches.
Right. Exactly. Right.
It's
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Like, look, TakeOver Toronto a couple years ago. DIY versus the Revival.
Beautiful match.
Like, Kenny Omega's going to call that a dark match on their card.
Yeah.
Come on.
Doesn't. Listen here, you gremlin.
Oh, take that, Jobber.
Oh my god, I put myself.
Oh no, you're AEW in the ratings, man. Oh no.
I put myself in the yard with my pen.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. There was dark on my end.
No way.
Shop, you gotta like open your eye.
No, it's right there in my eye.
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah, you're good.
I poked myself with it.
Remember, kids, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
Is there actually ink on my face?
No, like it was like
Kobe,
like
you missed. I missed. Yes.
like.
Oh, dude, I hope I didn't put it on my eye. Are you serious?
All
right,
well,
well,
good to me. It could have been a blue vein, but
Is it on the vein?
You're
Is
fine.
it on my eyeball?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Ooh, all right.
but
Well,
yeah, like
anything could happen here on WCW Monday Night Raw.
with their
You
with
know,
that statement
can
by
I-
Omega.
You know how I just said you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore? Yeah. My fiance just texted me that I'm not hardcore.
Hey, it's good to know she supports and watches the podcast.
Yeah, literally.
But
So
no,
our-
like, Omega set themselves up for failure now because like
Everyone's
if the
gonna
ratings
be
are the
like,
like when you're competing with another thing, you need to
don't
place.
acknowledge
You
it.
don't place yourself up on a pedestal.
Right,
If you're gonna acknowledge it, you
place
place
yourself
them
equal.
on a pedestal.
right,
You say
right.
you
Right.
say that like, man, NXT has great guys like, Adam Cole, allegedly Kevin Owens,
And then when it's trash,
these guys, and
it's
then
like,
when then if you beat them in the ratings, you can go, wow, look how much better we are.
yeah,
But you put them below you. You put them as
that's a
developmental.
disadvantage for
And
you.
now, even if you go even,
Right.
you're at a disadvantage.
They should have just not acknowledged it and just went with it.
Well, that's AEW's whole thing. Is like we don't care about the competition. They
Immediately,
WWE
right.
every chance they get.
Not to
Cody
mention
with the
smashing
sledgehammer and the
throne.
Triple H looking throne. Like, we didn't
So we're not
directly
allowed.
reference them. Yes, you did. Like you threw a temper tantrum because you're a
Actually,
jobber. That's
We're
all
almost-
Cody Rhodes has been is
Yeah,
a jobber for sure.
So our last actual topic, is the September 16th Monday Night Raw. Now the special thing about this Raw is that there was no Vince,
no Triple H, no Kevin Dunn,
all Paul Heyman.
all Paul.
From the first minute to the last of the 3 hours, all Paul Heyman. And I thought it was relatively.
I'm gonna mention like the little goof with some of the overlays because some of the stuff was upside
Yeah,
down.
it was upside down. Yeah, I've noticed that.
I mean, like we had a perfectly edited show with Dunn.
Right. Yeah. Right. Mhm.
His teeth keep touching the keyboard. And all.
I was about to say, Ross Tuadell from Cultaholic, shout out again, has made a career off of.
Shout out to King Ross for ripping on Kevin Dunn's teeth.
Literally. But I thought it was a very enjoyable Raw. I thought even
It was
without
very
Vince and Triple H there, I think it ran relatively smoothly.
The Firefly Funhouse episode.
Yep. Ooh. Great. Wait, was that the Stranger Danger one? Was that the Stranger
That was
Rambo
Stone Cold.
Rambo? He's like,
No, Stranger Danger was the Stone Cold.
Right, Massive Square Garden. Right.
Yeah, that was the week before that.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was really good. That was funny. I know, he's not even on the podcast. I'm a horrible
I actually wanted to
broadcast
jump in
journalist.
with you last segment because,
Omega and NXT?
yeah. Okay,
Alright.
what's up, guys? My name is Mark. I'm Matt's roommate. I'm just gonna pop in with their last bit. Matt's been showing me a lot of like the old WCW, ECW stuff from the WWE network with the Monday Night Wars between Nitro and Raw. I think if WWE and AEW play their cards right, they could pull another thing like that off, like what they did way back then, between ratings and everything else. So
I think that would be enjoyable.
I
it'd be
feel
interesting to see how
I
they
still haven't
do
regarded
that.
imagine like 3 years WWE buys AEW. Like say they win the Wednesday Night Wars.
That
First
is
off, the video library. 2, Invasion.
like a legitimate invasion. Not a WCW, let's bring over Buff the Stuff Bagwell invasion.
Not like an invasion. Let's make Shane in charge of it. I'm talking Cody.
And Stephanie. Don't
Like-
even get me started with ECW's invasion with Stephanie being the owner of ECW. Don't even get me
No,
started with that.
why'd you bring
I
it up?
love ECW. Well, because you're talking about invasion. That was part
No,
of it.
I know, but I'm like, why you
But,
bring up
oh,
that
I
dark spot?
hate it.
But no, dude, Cody Like, imagine Survivor Series instead of SmackDown versus Raw.
Insane.
AEW versus
WWE.
Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly what people
And
did
then
back
the
in the Monday Night
teams.
Wars.
The teams like Cody, Omega, the Young Bucks, and
Was it 5-on-5 normally?
and like Moxley
That'd be really good. Yeah, versus like
Triple H.
okay.
All right. The big thing is Cody v Triple H.
Very true. Okay.
And that'd be like the figureheads. Like it'd be like if Vince and Shane were in the matches back then.
Very true. Okay. All right.
And you don't pull Stone Cold to go on WCW because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like unless you're bringing back Stunning Steve Austin.
Right.
Don't do it.
That would have been cool.
But,
that would have been interesting. It would have been interesting for that, like,
I would
a
have
week
be
or
like,
two.
what's Stone Cold doing? This is weird.
Like, imagine if he did it, though, to be, like, a spy for, like, the other team. Like, he did it, he became Stunning Steve Austin for, like, a week or two, and then, like, he turned again.
Yeah, and
like,
Triple H
to
be
foil
terrorizing for
Right.
like,
Terra Rising. Oh, boy. That was a Killer Kowalski name, actually. Killer Kowalski gave him that name.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, we're going to call you the Terrorizer. But I want like, a name, like a first and last. Okay. Terra Rising. What a
like, I shouldn't have said anything.
Rest in peace, Killer Kowalski. But wow. All right.
Like Jean-Paul Levesque, that was pretty good.
Jean-Paul Levesque.
And like his name already sounded.
Hunter Carson.
But no, man, like then Triple H. So that to pair with Omega, probably Styles.
That would be good. I think all before I feel like they have.
I don't think they have.
Maybe. That would be really
I
good.
think
Finn would be good
what
in
team
that too.
would go up with Young Bucks, like a WWE
Gallows and Anderson.
team? Because then that's too much of the club. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be more of the club unless WWE.
Usos.
Usos. Good.
Usos. Yeah.
And then
you could throw in
for Moxley,
Finn
I'd
Balor.
say
You could throw, or no, you could have Seth Rollins on the team.
you could do Rollins.
You could renew that.
You do Rollins or Roman.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting. But
Rollins
like,
would
then how do you have him
definitely-
lose? It depends on who you're putting over, really.
Yeah, that's
in that
fair.
case.
I mean, I feel like WWE would go over just because they won the war.
Very
But
true. It's like when they
that would be
brought
the
up-
climax. Is the that's
Right.
where it would end.
Right,
Be the Survivor
right.
Series. I don't know, man. Like,
For once, I just like the invasion. I like the invading side to win.
I feel like a double Young Bucks super kick into like
And
Kenny
Usos double super kick.
No, I mean like saying like take Braun out if he's not.
Oh, and
carrying
like
the
a V
team.
trigger.
Like, wait, what was the V trigger?
That's like his knee. That's like his big knee that he performs. Kenny Omega.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I was saying double super kick, one wing angle somehow.
Could he get
So-
him up? I guess if you put him on the second rope and then like did it quick, maybe that could
Well,
work.
it could be like an Andre situation. Like, Braun would jump up a little to help him get him up. Because like once he's up there, these guys can hold him.
Oh, we have a memester. We have a campus fiend.
No. Anyway, back to the subject
So-
of Raw.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. The stuff at the Fiend and Firefly Funhouse
Just-
was amazing.
He's firing on all cylinders at this point.
Yeah, because of Firefly Fun.
Mike Kanellis bit was funny.
Yeah!
Firefly.
Connor put in his 2 cents on this podcast.
No, but I want to make a quick disclaimer.
I am not the.
Is this a? Yeah, I was about to say. Is this like?
Are
we going back on this again? Like,
No, I think we covered it, and I should. If you don't hear from me, like after next weekend.
okay.
No,
Duly noted.
I went out peacefully. Anyways.
Oh, I'm like, what's he talking about? Like, okay.
In case you didn't catch it, and then with the hints, I'm not really going to be on this podcast as much anymore. And I'm kind of passing the torch off to Justin here.
Yep. So it's
I'm
gonna
not
be dual.
leaving the channel.
Nope.
Good.
Just the 2
I'm
of us.
just,
Pursuing other interests.
yes, I will be here. You'll see my face on videos. I have my own things I want to do. So I'll be around. So don't worry. I'll still be posting videos. I just have my own life I got to start. I'm getting married and everything.
So it'll pretty much just be a 2-man booth right after this podcast, or if you want to do the next one, or you can decide when you want to leave. So to wrap up, to put a nice little bow on our September podcast, we normally just started to do this wrestler of the month. Tell me who it is and why is it the Fiend.
Ooh, yeah.
To take a quote from
Tell me who it is and why is it the Fiend? Because have you watched it?
yeah, literally. Why is it? Why
It's Baron Corbin. I mean, he won King of the Ring.
I will hit you.
All right, John.
I will unprotected chair shot you.
Whoa! All right.
One of these.
All right, and then we
We're
do.
gonna have to dinner first.
And then we do a women's wrestler of the month. Who is it?
Sasha Banks because of her comeback.
I'm gonna say Bailey, just because she's finally growing that backbone, and I like to see that
Yeah, I'm
character.
gonna have to agree with you there.
I'm 100% biased, and I'll admit it, but I really have enjoyed the stuff that.
I don't like that it has to be one of those two because I don't like.
It doesn't have to.
It
You
could
can do
be
whatever you
Bailey.
want.
It could be.
You can name
Not
whoever
Bailey.
you want.
It
So if
could.
you want to name Charlotte,
Yeah, but I want to
Charlotte.
be accurate. Like Charlotte hasn't really been.
I mean, defeating Trish Stratus.
It could be Becky
Stratus
Lynch.
was big.
It could be Becky Lynch or taking said chair shots, but you know.
Maybe.
See, I'm completely biased, but I love that she's finally getting a backbone. That's
No, I'm gonna go tag team. Alexa and Nikki have been doing great.
They've been doing great. I will give you that one.
They are a fun
They
team,
have been a very, very good.
and I like their chemistry better than Alexa and Nia Jax. Granted, they are real life best friends,
Yeah,
but it feels more natural.
on screen. Yeah, you kind of get that whole like best friends vibe from them. So, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of the third episode
Holy
of
crap.
the Working Into a Shoot podcast. A little bit longer than usual, but that's all right. 3-man booth.
It's longer. Like
Well, normally, last time we only went for like 50 minutes.
It was like 57,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
we weren't even
so-
an hour.
So, but a little bit longer. So,
like 20-ish minutes of tomfoolery.
please.
Yeah.
please like, share, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. That's
Like us on
universal.
Twitter. Do we have Twitter yet?
I don't have a Twitter yet.
Step it up, Matt. What kind of PR are you doing?
I'm not the
Jobber.
PR manager here. He's the PR manager here.
All right, what are you doing?
Living his life, becoming
There's a Twitter.
becoming an EMT, becoming an EMT. So I mean, I guess he's got that excuse. But
The T stands for Twitter, and we need one.
Emergency medical Twitter.
so
Yeah.
special thanks to our debuting Mr. Justin Tracy himself.
He'll never be
Doesn't-
better than me.
It doesn't match up to Jericho debuting on The Rock, but
It's something.
I think I did all right.
It's a brand new field of this podcast. So without further ado,
Or I don't.
Wait, there's three of us now. Now we gotta.
You gonna hit that too sweet?
Too sweet. Yo, Mark, get in.
That-
You too.
we're bringing in all the roommates.
Too sweet, dog. God.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So for the Mac,
For the Cooper.
this has been Mac Cooper
And
Productions. And we will see you guys in about a month's time. Catch you later,
We
guys.
gotta workshop the name.
That still made it in, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm like.